biohacking, the number one thing that always gets brought up to me all the time. And I wanted to use this video to dive into really the 5 main pieces to biohacking, whether it be recovery, strength, sleep, nutrition, or muscle therapy, to really see how to maximize your body to be the best athlete. So let's dive in, guys. Recovery is a big piece to how your body performs the next day. So a lot of people always ask me, does red light saunas work? Do those masks, red light therapy work on your face? Does PEMFs, the pulse emitting microfrequencies work? Or even the cold plunges and like that kind of stuff? Well, to answer it in a scientific way, yes, they definitely work. Are they going to increase your vitality and make you live 30 years more? Probably not. There's some diehard people out there that are retransfusing blood into their body. They're doing every biohacking supplement that they can think of to really try to see how long they can live. And if that's your goal, by all means, go for it. Do I think biohacking helps in far as, helping mitochondria for increasing circulation and fixing injuries? Sure. Do I think that cold plunges are good for inflammation? Yes. Do I do them? No. Why? Because I personally don't like to be cold. And so putting myself into a cold plunge, even though it's going to reduce inflammation, I also don't eat a very inflammatory diet. So that's a big piece. And the brown fat that cold plunges are going to be helping you with and, starting your thermogenesis process, you may lose 1 to 3 pounds throughout an entire year just from doing cold plunge, but you can also lose 1 to 3 pounds in a week just by eating better and cleaning up your diet. So, there's different things that are out there. There's always the new trend. I think saunas are great. I think cellular respiration is amazing. I would rather do a hot sauna versus a cold water plunge. To be honest, that's just what makes more sense to me. But in doing so, even the pulse, the PEMFs, pulse electric magnetic fields is fine. It's just pulsing, so it gives you more of a jolt of circulation through your body, and therefore, just like a massage, they're going to be releasing all these toxins. They always say to drink a lot of water after massage to flush it out. You want to be drinking water to flush out toxins for sure. So, anything that you're doing, whether you're sweating from sauna, if you're doing a cold plunge and freezing to death, or doing the PEMFs or anything along those lines, you really want to stay hydrated. And a good frame of reference is, about 4 liters is a gallon and about 128 ounces is a gallon. So 64 ounces of water is usually awesome for people. And, about 2 liters, if you're in the metric side, is usually awesome for general health. Now, can you maximize that and do different things? By all means, yes. But just standard hydration, try to be getting at least that much water in. But yeah, coming from a medical background of pre-med and pre-pharm, I understand how the body works. And so a lot of things out there are gimmicks. Having red light on your face, is it going to tone up your skin? It could, and it definitely would make your skin healthier and more circulation. Is it going to make you look 50 years younger? Probably not. But if you want to try it, it's good. It's not going to hurt you. Why not go for it? Same with cold plunges. Are they going to be amazing in this end all be all? It's more of a mental game of battling through and conquering the cold water. So if that's what you want to do, by all means, go for it. But for me personally, I'd rather do a sauna. I'd rather eat an anti-inflammatory diet and just be that way versus torture myself just to be cold. So that's the thoughts on the recovery. Next, we're going to be going into sleep. Sleep is a big part to how you feel the next day, how your body recovers, how you burn fat. You burn the most fat while you're sleeping. So you want to be making sure that you are sleeping at least 7.5 to 9 hours a night. If you're getting less than that, it's not ideal. I wouldn't be recommending it. Am I going to say you're going to die if you do it? No, but you go with what your body needs and is good with. But typically, if you're trying to transform your body, lose weight, stay healthy, any along anything along those lines, you're gonna want 7.5 to 9 hours. Now your body sleeps in 1.5 hour intervals, so ideally to wake up and not be hitting the snooze alarm, you wanna be waking up at that 7.5 or that 9 hour mark. If you're waking up in the middle of that, typically you're in the middle of a sleep cycle, therefore you're gonna be more groggy, you're typically gonna hit that snooze alarm, and you're not gonna be waking up as refreshed as if you did like a 6 hour, 7.5, 9 hour spot like that. So try to see where you can go to bed consistently. Like I try to be in bed by 10 because I know I have to get up at 5:30. So that's my 7.5 hours that I go to, or I go from 10 till 7 and try to sleep until 7 to get that full 9 hour recovery, which is typically on the weekends. Now, after talking about, how much time you want to sleep, there's some things you can do in your bedroom to maximize your sleep more efficiently. A snake plant will help increase the oxygen levels in your room. The more oxygen you're taking in and flushing out, exhaling, so flushing out CO2, is going to be how your body burns fat. That conversion of oxygen to CO2 is your fat burning process. You do it the most when you're most rested, which is when you're at sleep. So the more you can bring in oxygen in the room, the better off your sleep is going to be. Having a colder temperature for your room is good because it's going to help generate thermogenesis to keep your body warm. You want to be snuggled under the blankets, and so that is also another tip to help with your homeostatic part of sleep, to be making sure that your body is working as efficiently as possible. Now, in this work that your body's doing while you're sleeping, your brain needs some energy. So ideally, you want to do like a teaspoon of honey. Local honey is always best, just because it comes from that local area that has allergy helping antihistamines and that kind of stuff inside. But a teaspoon of honey before bed will give your brain enough sugar to be going through all the processes throughout the night for detoxing, cleaning up all the waste, and hopefully flushing out all those toxins in the morning by going to the bathroom. But honey will help your brain have more energy to be more efficient. Now, in saying that, yes, in the morning you should be going to the bathroom, first to pee, and then at some point in the morning you need to be going number 2 to be able to be flushing out that toxins that your body built up in the middle of the night. So when you wake up, before having coffee or anything like that, you really want to be getting water with lemon. Lemon will help boost your liver. Liver is how your body detoxifies itself. So if you can give yourself some lemon in your water, very good thing to stay hydrated, help your liver detoxify, and get your body going in the right direction. When you're wanting to wake up and have coffee or tea or some sort of caffeine, ideally you want to go somewhere between 45 and 60 minutes. At the minimum, wait 30 minutes after you wake up to then start inducing caffeine, because your brain is going to be having synapses firing to get your body awake and going. But if you're jump starting those with caffeine, your brain's going to crash in the afternoon because it's looking for more adenosine as the hormone that it's looking for. And so if you wait in the morning to just have coffee, 45 to 60 minutes. If you can wait 90 minutes, great. Most people can't. So normally I would say at least 45 to 60. That will help you not have that afternoon crash because your adenosine levels will be more evened out throughout the day. So that is the sleep part. Now we're going to go into the nutrient part. So when I'm talking about nutrients for biohacking, it's really just basing timing of when you're having proteins, carbs, fats, and things along those nature. And then, how creatine is a great product for helping with those being absorbed in your body. So first part, you want to be having protein throughout the day. Your body is built on muscles and fat. So the more muscle you have, the more protein your body is going to want to be maintaining that muscle, because it breaks down during workouts and builds it back up, called your actin-myosin chain. And so you want to be having more protein throughout your day. And it doesn't have to be just eating steaks, 5 times a day. You can do protein shakes. If you want to do a protein bar, usually they have other stuff in them, but you can do a protein bar. You can do cottage cheese, yogurt, eggs, chicken, pork chops, fish, anything that has protein you want to be having throughout the day with all of your meals. I wake up and I do cottage cheese with eggs. I do eggs with yogurt. If I have leftover steak, I'll do steak and eggs if I'm really running on time, then I'll just do protein shakes. But Either which way, you want to be getting protein in the morning. Carbs, your body uses for energy. So you want to be maximizing carbs post workouts, post days that you're going to be very active in doing things, but not necessarily at nighttime, because what do we do after dinner? We typically sit around, watch TV, and go to bed. We're not utilizing those carbs for energy. Therefore, your body stores carbs as fat, thinking, oh, I need to save this for energy the next day, so let me store it in my belly, and that's how we get bigger and bigger bellies. So find when you're going to be using carbs. I'm not saying carbs are bad. You need carbs in your diet, but have them around activity levels. So like breakfasts and lunches, because you are more active throughout the day. You're walking, you're moving, you're going here, there, that kind of thing. Versus at nighttime should be more green vegetables, because green vegetables help your body burn fat while you're sleeping. Side note, so work on the green vegetables. That's broccoli, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, green beans, romaine lettuce, cooked spinach, not raw spinach. And I don't really go for kale, so don't do kale. But those are really good greens to be having in your diet. And I brought up creatine because everyone's like, you know, should I be taking creatine? Yes, at least 5 milligrams a day, everyone should be taking. There might be a little bit of time when you do take creatine that you keep retaining the water, so you do gain a little bit of weight, but after a few weeks, your body will flush out that excess water. But the creatine helps with your brain function, helps with your muscles. You feel stronger, you feel fuller, you have a healthier gut. Everything is definitely a positive when it comes to creatine. So 5 milligrams, some people go up to 20 and 30, and by all means, you can. For me, that messes with my belly, and I just say 5 is good enough. If you do powder, it's a cleaner than a gummy. Gummies are just gonna have extra sugars and things in it, so is that the end of the world? No, but just so you know that that's there. But yeah, so when it comes to nutrients, that's kind of how you want to stay on track and do the food part. Muscle recovery is a big part to working out. As you get sore, as you build up muscles, like if you're building up your chest is going to be tighter than your back. So that's a muscle imbalance. You want to be opening this up so you're more neutral. Therefore, the back isn't doing too much work, chest isn't doing too much work, because muscle imbalances can lead to injury. And so to minimize the injuries and the soreness and things like that, we have things like massage guns and foam rollers. So foam rollers were the end all be all back in the day. You would roll on it, find a spot that is like, ooh, that's a muscle knot. You'd stay on it for like 20 to 30 seconds and then roll past it and then repeat, roll past it, repeat, trying to break up that knot. Now, since then, there's now massage guns, and those do a great job because they can be more targeted. You can use them all over your body, and they can be at whatever intensity you want them to be at. So massage guns is what I prefer. That's what I like to use the most, but both are what they're doing is working with your Golgi tendon apparatus to release that tension on that muscle to allow it to calm down and not be having like a pain. Like if you push here and there's a pain, you know that there's a muscle knot there because your Golgi tendon apparatus is holding on to that muscle and not allowing it to relax and calm down. But again, anything you work out, if I'm working biceps, these are getting bigger, this is being more stretched, so you're gonna have a muscle imbalance of it being closer versus being more stretched open, allowing you to have proper range of motion. So massage guns, foam rollers, either which one you wanna use, they are amazing. You always wanna do them post-workout. You can do a little bit beforehand, but typically I always tell people to do it post-workout. Therefore, it's your recovery, not your dynamic warm-up. So start with doing it after the workout. Spend about 10 minutes working on the areas that you worked on in your workout, and you'll feel a lot better afterwards. So wrapping up is going to be looking at all these things, writing down notes, see what makes sense to you, see what you can put into your daily life, your daily habits. Please shoot comments down below. I am happy to help, happy to answer any questions, happy to give you guidance as to what might make most sense for you. And yeah, let me know if there's anything else I can do for you guys, and I'll catch up with you later.